NFL Week 8. We got ourselves back in the swing of things in Week 7. Heading into Sunday Night Football, and I know we have 2 Monday night games as well. We're 10-2. The 2 losses, who could have done better than that, right? The first loss, Thursday Night Football, Joe Flacco. He's insane. Okay. The next loss, the Commanders fall to the Cowboys. Could have been closer, but the Cowboys defense played well, and Jaden Daniels obviously wasn't there in the second half. It is what it is. 10-2, not bad. We want the undefeated week, though. Overall in the season, we are 72, 32, and 1. Not too shabby, but still, I want the flawless week. Heading into Week 8, we have a good Thursday night game. One of the better Thursday night matchups of the year. Minnesota Vikings heading to LA to the Chargers. And this is going to be simple, right? Well, there's a couple things to break down here. The Chargers are 2.5-point favorites here at home. The Chargers have been dropping games. They've been falling apart. They have been falling apart. They just fell to the Indianapolis Colts, and it was not pretty, man. Their defense gave up 40 points. In week number 5, they fell to the Commanders, 27-10. In week 6, they almost lost to the Dolphins. They won 29-27, but they almost lost to Miami, who's one of the worst offenses in the league. They got 27 points. So this Chargers team is in shambles. Now, on the other side of the football, you have the Vikings. Carson Wentz almost beat the Philadelphia Eagles on a revenge game tour. He should have beat them if he didn't gift them points with turnovers. This is a 2.5-point spread. I am all in. This is my favorite game to bet on this week. All in on Justin Herbert and the Chargers. That offense looks good. That offense looks better than the Minnesota Vikings. There's a chance that Wentz is not even here in this game, and they put J.J. McCarthy back in, coming off of the bye week. I was surprised that Wentz was the quarterback, not J.J. McCarthy. So there's a lot of storylines for Minnesota heading into this one. Addison looked good. Jefferson had like 4 deep balls that just weren't catchable, but I think he could have a breakout game here. But I like the Chargers offense to kind of right the ship. And they didn't even look terrible against Indy. They kind of started slow. But this Chargers offense, I just have more faith on scoring points at home. Give me LA. Jets at Bengals. Justin Fields was benched halfway through the game for New York. They lost 13-6. It was the game they should have won. They could have won. Jets offense just looked so bad. Unbelievably bad. And then on the Cincinnati side of things, Joe Flacco and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, they all looked insane. So I'm going Cincy right here. The spread is Bengals by 4.5. And you know what? Yeah, okay. I'm fine with it. Giants at Eagles. This is a big one. We know what happened last time the Giants took on Philly. The Giants, in my eyes, in my heart, they beat the Broncos. I know they didn't, but that was just that was a choke of the century. They were up 19-0. They lose 33-32. Terrible coaching in my mind. I don't know what was going on. I don't know how that happened. They go to Philly to take on the Eagles. I understand they won by 3 touchdowns the first matchup in New York. This Eagles team needs this win. If they lose to New York here, the city will burn down. The Eagles are 7-point favorites here at home. I like the Eagles money line, but 7 points? They just lost by 30 to these guys 2 weeks ago. I don't like the spread, but I do like Eagles money line. 49ers at Texans. Haven't seen either of these teams play. I have the Falcons. I should probably say that. I have the Falcons on Sunday Night Football. They might let me down. We will see. But the Houston Texans offensive line is so bad. I think that the 49ers are going to be more healthy. They should have Kittle in this game. You should potentially have Brock Purdy here as well. I like the 49ers in this matchup versus the Texans. I think this one could be close. I think it's a trap game. I'm not going to bet on it at all. 49ers are 1.5-point dogs currently. Give me the dogs on the road. Bears at Ravens. Coming off of a bye week, Lamar Jackson should be back. Caleb Williams honestly doesn't look terrible. The Chicago Bears, they handled the Saints 26-24 or 26-14. My bad, I just did some hate. So they're coming off 2 wins, right? Bears beat the Commanders in week 6, 25-24 Monday Night Football. And then they beat the Saints 26-14. Welcome back to reality. You're playing a good offense. I don't want to say a good team because this Ravens team hasn't looked great. I think the Ravens win this one. Now, I don't know the spread. Without looking at the spread, I would say the Ravens are probably favored by too much. I think this game could be close because of how bad the Ravens defense is. The Ravens currently sit at 5.5-point favorites. And you know what? I actually like that line. I will go Baltimore. But this defense for the Ravens is so bad, man. Browns at Patriots. This is a tough one to predict. The Browns defense has kind of been volatile in my eyes. The Browns offense has also been kind of volatile. And didn't have to do much this week with Njoku being out. It was the Judkins show. 3 touchdowns, the hat trick for Quinshawn. They take on the New England Patriots. He had, oh my God, 21 of 23, new franchise record, 92. Who cares, bro? That's Mickey Mouse stats. Nick Foles does that in his sleep. He throws 30 completions in a row. But this Patriots team, all jokes aside, does look good. They are 7-point favorites here. I mean, this Drake May has been playing really well. I think this is going to be a tough game, though, in terms of Drake May, because the Browns defense is solid. But I will go New England at home. 7 points seems like a lot. I don't like that. Bills at Panthers. Bills coming off of a bye week. The Panthers have no quarterback. I'm going Buffalo by 9.5. And the spread currently sits. Here it is. Vegas is calling 7.5. And I have the Bills covering that. Dolphins at Falcons. The Falcons are about to lose me or win me a lot of money on Sunday Night Football. I'll do a final leg of my parlays. If Atlanta lets me down on Sunday Night Football, I will be heartbroken. But I'm still going to have to pick them to beat the Miami Dolphins because Tua got benched. Mike McDaniels threw him under the bus in the post-game presser. He said, listen, if you're going to be trash, I'm going to have to treat you like a trash can and put you on the bench, next to the other guys on the team that are trash. Well, how is Waddle getting 1 reception when you're down by 40? That is also my question. It's a big question. Falcons are 7.5-point favorites. I don't really love that spread, to be honest, but I think the Falcons do win this one by 4 points or more. Buccaneers at Saints. How do the Bucs play versus the Lions? That's going to be a big factor here, but not big enough to have me go against the current MVP in my eyes of Baker Mayfield against Spencer Rattler. Tough one in the dome here in New Orleans. Bucs are less than a touchdown, 6.5-point favorites. I like that. Cowboys at Broncos. Can the Broncos at Mile High with the horses neighing in the background, can they stop this Cowboys offense, which I think top 3 in the league? Yeah, I said it. I mean, when they have all their pieces, top 3 in the league. The Cowboys are 3-point dogs. The Broncos, their offense is trash. But it wasn't trash in the fourth quarter when they scored 30 points against the Giants. So this is a really tough one. Like, what Broncos offense do we get? Do we get the first half Broncos offense that played against the Giants, or do we get the second half? Impossible to know. The Broncos defense also just gave up 32 points. The rookie Jackson Dart at home as well. I think Dak Prescott's going to be fine in this game. I think it's going to be really, really close. I think the spread is fair. And I think I have to go with the Broncos. But, my brain is telling me Denver. But when I'm sitting down to watch this game, I want to root for the Cowboys. I'm an Eagles fan. I want to root for the Cowboys because their offense is fun to watch. Fantasy points are being put on the board. I'm going Cowboys to cover 3 points, and I'm going Cowboys money line. I'm crazy. I'm not betting on this game either, probably, but I'm going Dallas. Titans at Colts. The Colts win this one by at least 10 points. The spread is Colts by 14.5, which seems like a ton, but it's not really unrealistic because this Colts team is very, very good. I think they proved that when they took on Los Angeles and dominated. The Packers and Steelers. Sunday Night Football, and I think this is a good matchup. I think the Packers might be on fraud watch. I know they're 4-1-1, but they've let some teams hang around. Honestly, they should have lost versus the Cardinals. They got kind of lucky. Like, if they didn't get their 4th and 2 conversion on a sideline out pass, 15 yards downfield, toe drag swag with Tucker Kraft, they could have lost versus Arizona and Jacoby Brissett. So this Steelers team is better than AZ. The Packers almost just lost on the road in AZ. This one seems like a trap. This is not a snooze fest Sunday Night Football matchup. The Packers are only 3-point favorites here. This seems like a game you got to throw in your parlay. You have to get this one right because the odds are pretty good. And if I'm doing that, I'm going Packers by 3 as my pick in my parlay. But that's just how I feel. Monday Night Football. Thank God there's no 10 o'clock game. Again, I don't know whose idea that was. We got the Commies and we have the Chiefs. Commanders, they might need Marcus Mariota, a masterclass again, because Aiden Daniels had the hamstring. Commanders look bad in all aspects of the game against the Cowboys. They had no receivers, though. Keep that in mind. Is Debo here? Is McLaurin here? Both of them were out. Now, special teams could play a role because McCaffrey, he had 190 kick return yards, if you believe it, in the game against Dallas. But that is also Dallas, kicked the ball off like 13 times because they put up 50 points. Kansas City Chiefs, unfortunately for the Commanders, the Chiefs with Rashee Rice, his offense is insane. All the starters were pulled at the end of the third quarter, which destroyed my fantasy hopes. But Mahomes looks like he's back to being a top 3 S-tier quarterback in fantasy. Chiefs are 9.5-point favorites. That's steep, but I think it actually gets covered. Crazy to say. Wouldn't have said it a week ago, but this Chiefs team looks like the real deal now, and they're going to build some momentum beating the Commanders. There is week 8. All the picks. I want undefeated. I want to go undefeated, and I'm going through the slate, and I think we have a real chance this week. My only fears this week is the 49ers and Texans game. Smells like a trap. Browns Patriots could be glitchy. Cowboys Broncos, unfortunately, I know it's going to sell us, but I do think we have a good chance to improve the record in week 8. See you boys in week 9.